What's going on, everybody? How are you? I'm coming to you live from Branchbrook Park in the North Ward of Newark, New Jersey. We are approaching the peak of the cherry blossom season. If you didn't know, Branchbrook Park in Newark, New Jersey has the largest collection of Japanese cherry blossoms. I think in like the East Coast or bigger than DC, allegedly. Right? I'm no cherry blossom expert, but that's word on the street. So if you're around town, around Newark, New York, next weekend, the 15th, April and 16th, it's a kind of a hectic time if you're driving, but like parking and stuff is madness. But if you can take the light rail here, which is close by, or the train and then an Uber from Penn Station, it's so worth it. It is so beautiful. I can't even show you. I'm gonna turn the camera around a little bit just to show you. It's like a sea of white, and there's the Cathedral Basilica, which is a beautiful Catholic cathedral here. And this is really not even like the most of it. There's so much more everywhere. Anyways, getting into the reading already, I can tell it's gonna feels like a different kind of reading. The last few weeks have been really heavy. The energy that I've been picking up on has been one of healing and closure and integration. Boundaries. I want to say the difference for me has been spending time outside today. And I encourage you all wholeheartedly, like if you do nothing this week for yourself, but go outside for just a little bit. Okay, let's see what else. I only brought 2 decks with me today. There was a yoga event, my first yoga class outside of the season. It was with Yogi J at Miss Mobility Works on Instagram if you want to follow her, and Ty, Yoga Every Day, DAYE. I think it's his Instagram handle. They're going to be doing this Yoga in the Park series all summer, every Sunday. And I was just invited to teach at some point. That's a little too many. Let's just get one more if we can. So this is a reading for this coming week. I think that's all we need for now. This coming week, which is April... Today's the 9th? Yeah. April 10th on. I'll figure it out when I put it in the title. I'm using the Spellcasting Oracle deck as well as the Kaleidodope Tarot. Let's see what we got. The opening card was Boundaries. And again, emphasizing being outside here. Spending time outside as much as you can right now. And I'll read the Boundaries card because I think that feels right. Pardon the noise. I hope it's not too loud. People are really enjoying nature here. You're being taken for a ride. Again, people do like taking advantage of you, don't they? The problem is that you like to please people, and so you avoid letting them down and pander to their requests. You have a kind soul and would do anything for anyone. It's a beautiful gesture, and you genuinely want everyone to be happy, but at what cost? If your own wants and needs are being ignored, then always putting others first means that you're not valuing yourself. When you say yes to others, make sure that you're not saying no to yourself. Eventually, you'll feel worn down, trodden on, and resentful. It's time to be assertive and put boundaries in place. So this reminds me of a reading that I did a couple while ago about biting your tongue and not using your voice because of fear of letting others down or doing things that others didn't want to do or keeping the peace, right? I'm hoping that with this energy, I'm feeling that collective is learning how to say yes to themselves first. And today's Yoga Dharma was actually about loving self and saying yes to self and doing for self first. And I know that gets complicated when we talk about having families and having dependents that we have to care for, but all the more reason to put self first, to fill cup first. And having boundaries, like keeping promises to yourself. If you say you're gonna go to do something for you, but then someone says, hey friend, can you help me out with this? And it conflicts with that thing. If you're the kind of person to say, all right, let me shift around that thing so that I can help this person out, consider where that comes from. So let's see, boundaries. This card does not come out. 6 of Wands in reverse. Justice in reverse. Eight of Cups. Swords in reverse. Hermit. I just flipped reconciliation. This is giving Two of Cups vibes in that it's with self. It's a connection between you, reconciling what's happening between you and you. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing here, folks. Maybe you recently took an L, took a loss. The loss you took was not your fault. There was an actual injustice done to you. But you know what? I think we know this by now. Life is not necessarily just and fair. I think the universe seeks balance. And sometimes we as individuals can't see the grand scheme of what is needed, what is being put into balance. So it may feel like it's just us, what we've done in this time, in this life, in this span of existence, that we feel wrong. But I think this is confirmation to say that you have a reason to feel like you've been wronged, if this is the case. What ended up happening here was that you exited stage right after you were wrong, and that you were no longer confused in your head, overthinking. You know, that Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction, you know, based on narratives. I think the message in the last couple of weeks has been like, tell yourself a different story, right? Not the story of victimhood or woe is me, or, you know, this happened to me. Like, I think you're done with that, because if this was upright, I'd say, oh, this is still happening. But coming out in reverse, especially after the Eight of Cups, which is you exiting a situation, an unjust situation, something where you lost. You straight out, like, lost. Or you felt like you lost. You felt like you did not feel like a victor in this situation. But I want to say, when you were going through the situation, there was something about it that you knew. Your crown, your third eye knew that it wasn't right. It was not. Like, equally yoked is what's coming in my mind. You were not working with a partnership or a connection that was well suited for you. Now that you're in this reconciliation mode, and again, this is not with another person, I'm getting this strictly, these two people almost look like the exact same people to me, except one is like older and one is younger. You could tell by the hair that's a little bit longer. And now you're in hermit mode.
Where the welcome center is?
I'm sorry, I'm doing something right now. I don't know what I'm so sorry. That was really weird. I lost my train of thought. I didn't even know what he said. I just lost my train of thought. So the funny thing about North Newark this time of year is that I would say 90% of the people in this park right now are not from Newark. Not even like close to being from Newark. They probably from other parts of the state, New York. There's people from everywhere right now. And they have no idea where they're going. They're just walking around. I think he just asked me where the conservatory was. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I hope I wasn't too rude. But now I've definitely lost my train of thought. You're in hermit mode. as you're making this reconciliation, you are rewriting. I see this as wands right now. Wands is creative energy. You're rewriting your story. Tell me more about Hermit and reconciliation as guidance for collective, how they can... Death. Let the thing die. Whatever it is that you walked away from, whatever it was, the unjust thing that you've turned your back to, you are in your right mind to turn your back to it. Keep walking. Let it die. There's no salvaging this in this current form, right? And death is never truly death, right? With death, there's always rebirth. So, oh man, I think that guy just dropped his glasses. Or somebody in this group just dropped their glasses. I see a nice pair of glasses here. Oh no. Shame. Maybe I'll walk that way in a little bit and see if I see him. There's literally like maybe thousands of people here today. Let the thing die. It's gonna be painful as fuck. Very painful. But that's how you reconcile with self. See, the reason why this was an unjust situation was because of collective. There were no boundaries. You gave, sacrificing your needs and wants. And no matter what the situation ended up with, it was bound to be a non-starter, a no-win, an unjust situation, because the injustice came from self. Seven of Coins. You've begun planting some seeds on some things. A couple of them are already in motion and maturing. Turn your energy to that. Continue to do the spiritual work you're doing, but as part of this advice of letting things die, turning the energy, the mental energy that you would spend lamenting on this thing, turning it to the material. Focus on work. Focus on your creative outputs. Focus on the home you're building, your family. What does collective need to remember as they continue to work on building more boundaries and reconciling with self? Page of Cups. You can't love in reverse. You can't give your love to everybody. You can't. I think there's a difference between having love for people, like having love for the human race, and actually giving love to everybody that comes across your path. Make sure you're not doing that, because your cup will definitely, even if it's just a little bit, a page is just a little bit, right? Even if it's just a little bit of energy, you have to use your intuition, your discernment to decide who gets it. I love Newark. I really love my city so much. So that was help or advice for boundaries, right? Not being the extra nice person that you are with everybody. It doesn't mean being mean, but it means knowing how to turn off at the appropriate times. You can't smile at every stranger that smiles at you in the street, right? You can't. Trust me, as somebody that used to do that, it takes from your energy, even if it's just a millimeter of your energy that's siphoned. If you do that on a long New York City avenue and there's 20 people, that millimeter times 20, I don't know math, and I certainly don't know the metric system that well. I know I should probably just multiply it by 10. 200 millimeters of energy taken away from you, whatever that is, it's gonna have an effect. So learning how to put on your face that is neither cold but is neither giving, that's how you set boundaries. And once people sense that you are in this space, they will also respect your boundaries. So they won't be in your face. They won't try their best to get your attention on the sidewalk. You know, it's a different vibe you're putting out. And what can collective do to support their reconciliation with self? Knight of Wands in reverse. If you're the type that's out in these streets having a good time. Of course, we all want to do that, but this looks, I mean, y'all know how this looks. I don't need to go into this. It was in reverse. Be mindful of who you're being intimate with. Be mindful of who you give that energy to. Just like strangers getting a little bit of on the streets. The Knight of Wands is a player type, is a fast type, somebody that's out here just getting all the goodness, right? In reverse, it's the toxic version of that. So paying attention to those kinds of characters in your life who just want your energy because it's good and it's juicy and it's delicious. And those that actually want to be around you because it feels right and they expect nothing in return. And if you are the one out in these streets, maybe taking a couple days off a week, because again, you're losing energy that way and you're not able to reconcile with self if you're constantly giving out to others. All right, that's all I have. Maybe one card of advice. Let's see if the universe has anything for us. That's a lot. I don't think I want all of those. Card of advice. Whoa, so many. Just one, please, or two. Okay. Beauty. I'll read it. Comes 2 pages before boundaries. If you'd open your eyes and marvel at the beauty that surrounds you. If only you'd open up your eyes and marvel at the beauty that surrounds you. In fact, when was the last time you gazed at your reflection and told yourself how beautiful you are? Sometimes you feel attractive, yet at other times you feel cursed by the weight of ugly thoughts that torture yourself with and sometimes direct towards others too. It's now time to lighten up and smell the roses. Make a list of all your redeeming features and qualities and learn to love them. As you feel the beauty expand within, it reflects back beautifully at you through the hearts and eyes of others. Magical meanings. It's time to remove the mask. Bullying has led to your insecurities. Say daily, I see and feel beauty in everything. Vanity runs the show. Use natural products to enhance beauty. So this again has been a pretty positive reading. I love the shift here. I think the overall advice for collective is to set firmer boundaries. Do that by walking away from the thing, the injustice that you experienced. Walk away and spend some time contemplating your new story, your new narrative. Focus on the material, focus on your home, focus on your family, focus on your work. And connect with self. Because I think this transformation period was led on by this injustice, this death, this thing that's ended, so that you can have this new skill, I want to call it, this new skin. So sit in the mirror today and just talk to yourself. List all the things you love about yourself. And do it every couple days a week, if not every day. I know sometimes I walk in the mirror and I look at myself like, damn girl, you look fine. Right? But I don't do it nearly enough, so this is some good advice for everybody, I think. Anyways, have a great day, y'all. Be well.